start breaking it up. Try and agree on a set of recommendations to propose to the United Nations, ably played by your two judges up here. Including your recommendation sheet, you have some guidelines in there. So again, you want to share with each other. You don't have to sit in these chairs. You can get up and move about. You can use the whiteboard up there. Everybody needs to participate, so you're involved in us looking at you as a team and as individuals. Look at short-term versus long-term impacts. I mean, we can do something short-term, but what's the long-term thing to us? You want to look at the variety of mix we have in there.
What would be best would we choose one of these short-term and then pair it with a medium or long-term?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess as far as short-term goes, it would be choosing between either to increase UN peacekeepers or diplomatic pressure. Because I think UN peacekeepers, although it's more expensive, is more guaranteed to be effective. Go. And which
would be $50 million.
Yeah,
it's effective because. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it's a good immediate action because like we need to just get in there first, and then once we are able to stop some of the violence, then
Go in the long.
yeah.
Plus our enthusiasm over it may influence other countries to also become involved.
And on the note of getting other countries involved, we also propose that we should increase the diplomatic pressure on the Congo through the UN's member states, and so that their government will be called upon to end impunity, because this will stop and hopefully stop soldiers from committing violent acts with no reprimand for them, which is actually a rather medium-term solution, because if you end the perception that a soldier can do anything he wants with no punishment, he'll be less likely to commit violations of human rights. So, sorry.
Alright. Our third recommendation is to increase the aid to the women who are beginning small farming. And this would not only help them to become independent, but it creates sort of a self-efficient style to what we're trying to do. And if we can encourage them to take care of themselves and know how to farm and produce agriculture, then they can become very independent and successful.
Our fourth policy recommendation is to research and development programs to harness energy from gases in Lake Kaivu as an alternative energy source. And it costs $30 million, and it could fail several times, but if we address the immediate crises first, then it could create economic stability and provide jobs for many young people.
And so all those together was $95 million. And then with the last $5 million, we decided to start a children's fund for like the children's soldiers there.
Kind of an advocacy program to help with the emotions and things that's happened to them over the course of their lives.
Help raise awareness so it will continue on in further generations.
And maybe more organizations would like to contribute to that fund as we raise awareness towards their problem.
And the three policies we did not recommend were option 3, option 4, and option 5. Option 3 was to offer incentives to rebels who agree to stop fighting. The reason we do not recommend this policy is because the rebels who have pledged to stop fighting, they have been fighting, so they've already committed several human violations acts, and we are essentially rewarding them, and we are still giving into them and giving them things, and not really punishing them for what they've done. So essentially, no lesson is being learned for those who commit the acts, and there is no guarantee that they will continue to not fight.
And we believe that using that money to train soldiers that have committed crimes is worthless, because we can use it on other funds that would actually contribute to people that need help and conflict.
And the next one we chose not to use is number 4, right? Yeah. And because it would bring a bunch of aid, and they would bring a lot of medical and food supplies. But instead of just going with number 4 and having a very short-term end of famine in certain areas, we chose to use number 6, which is helping them grow their own food and learn how to sustain themselves for a longer period of time.
And we didn't do number 5, which is calling the companies who buy things from Congo, because while that might help a little, it won't have a big effect as the other things, because if they just stop like their business in Congo, then those rebel soldiers will still have a lot of supplies that they already have, and then they can also find other ways to get the money that they need. So it doesn't have a really good solution. And maybe that would increase weapon trafficking through those borders.
Yeah.
This concludes our presentation for our policy recommendation to the UN Council.
Yep.
So, given your excellent set of recommendations, given that a lot of the fighting is over the Colton mines and control of those, and given that Goma is so overcrowded with lack of clean water and sanitation, and people from Rwanda who have come over, how does the solution that you propose sort of give the rebels an incentive or to stop fighting, and what if they don't accept the peacekeepers?
I guess it's a chance we're going to have to take as far as the peacekeepers, but as far as getting them to stop fighting, I think a lot of what is going to help is the increase of diplomatic pressure, where we're trying to rid of impunity, so that the soldiers and the rebels who commit these violent actions don't just get away with it, and there's some sort of consequence to their actions.
And there's always going to be a risk, obviously. And if we just kind of agree to, if we use the incentives to help the soldiers, the rebels, that'd be kind of giving in, as opposed to stopping what they're doing.
Plus, the peacekeepers can serve as like a deterrent to it. You know, if we add more support for the people as opposed to the rebels, then it can act as a deterrent to violence.